Yeah, I know.
All right, new room. Who dis? See how this works.
All right, guys. We're gonna go over this. I'm gonna record this so you can see it later. The funny thing is, I can actually write on this board, but if I do this board, everybody over there is like, "What the hell's going on?" So I'm just gonna be here. What was the hardest question on here, by the way? That's a weird FPL right here.
2C.
Does that sound alright? 2C? So I have a vote for 2C to be the hardest. You guys agree? Okay. Alright. So let's take a look. Alright, so 1A. Anybody have a suggestion on what I should do first there? Like me, I'm trying to reach the top.
Do the box or the X plus 1 square.
So one thing you could do is you could FOIL this out, right? Notice how I'm saying that. You don't have to. In fact, that's the long way to do this problem. It is a valid way. So what I try to tell students on a test, do the way you think of, so you don't waste time trying to think of like a better way. That'll work. If you FOIL, did anybody do that? FOIL it out, add 2, subtract the 6, get it equal to 0, factor, blah, 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 blah. So that'll totally work. You don't have to do that. Anybody else do it a different way? I know at least one person did. Yeah.
I isolated the X.
So this, where your X is this term, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if I get rid of the 2, I know that something squared is 4. That's what that says. You guys with me? Because I don't know what the hell X is, so I really don't know what the hell X plus 1 is. So that says something squared is 4. So what can I do to both sides? Square root. Or I could just say something squared is 4. What could that something be? What do I square to get 4? 4? Negative 2. That's why when you take a square root, plus or minus. You guys remember that? That's why. Because there's 2 things you square. To get a 4, you square negative 2 and you square 2. We stop for a minute. So if you FOILed this out and factored, you're not wrong. You just took the long way, which is not horrible. So then I get X plus 1 because these kill each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And over here I get plus or minus 2. You guys all with me?
Yeah.
So then X plus 1 could either be 2 or X plus 1 could be negative 2. So then again, X could be 1 or X could be negative 3. And then you can check both. Blah, 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 blah. Does that look at all familiar?
Mm-hmm.
So now, and again, if there's anything that looks foreign, let me know. All right. Steve, oh boy. That's good. B, I purposefully made this the same problem except for one thing, right? So now I got a square root here. But what's the first step? Yeah, I heard at the back table somebody saying something. What would I do to kill the square root? The reason I want to kill the square root is my poor little X dude is stuck in him. So I want to kill him so my poor little X dude is free. So my math is very bloody and violent, sorry. So I'm killing a lot of things and so forth. So if that, I'm sorry. You can replace kill with cancel. If I try to square both sides right now, why would that so desperately suck? If I square both sides the way it is, if I square both sides, I'd have to FOIL this side. Oh shit, no, right? So the thing to learn on these 2 first problems is locate your variable, get that term by itself first. My variable is in the square root of X plus 1. I'm going to get rid of this guy. I've isolated my radical, and then I want to kill it. So it's basically like a dictator. You isolate the radical element, and then you kill it, right? These are not life lessons. These are math lessons. So, okay. What do I do to both sides here? Over here, we took a square root, of course. Over there, we're going to square. Because what does that do here? Kills it, cancels it. I love it. And here you get
16.
Holy shit, so then you get x's? 15 and you can check it and all that kind of shit. Okay. How are we doing so far? Not too bad. All right. So that's a general lesson on solving most algebraic equations. Find your variable, isolate that part, and then continue. Does that work for every equation? No. But that does eventually become a part of what you're trying to do. Okay. What about 2a? Did anybody get 2? I'm going to erase this, by. Is that okay with me? Okay. Who thinks they got 2a? Who remembers what a fractional power means? Yeah.
I got 16.
And how'd you do that?
So I put square root 64 and not cube root 64.
Good, because
Raised to the 3 is our number.
what's a cube root 2? What's the cube root of 8?
2.
Why is the cube root of 8 2?
2 times 2 times 2.
Because it takes 3 2's to make 8 when you multiply, right? So cube root effectively takes 1/3 of something, but multiplicatively. If I just said, what's 1/3 of 6? That would be 2, correct? Because 1/3 of 6 takes 1/3 of it additively. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6, so 1/3 of 6 is 2. It takes 3 2's to add to be 6. Are you guys with me? 8 to the 1/3 power. What are exponents based on? Multiplication. 8 squared would be 8 times 8. So exponents are multiplication. So 8 to the 1/3 would be 1/3 of 8 multiplicatively. So another way, and to be really honest, I wish to God we had never invented radical notation. It is stupid. Because we already have fractional exponents. They do the same thing much more directly. So if I wanted to rewrite this, this would be the cube root of 64. And one way to remember that is where are roots on most plants? On the bottom. Roots are on the bottom, power's on the top. Cube root of 64 squared. What's the cube root of 64? 4 squared? Yay! Joe, how'd you do it? Joe did it a different way.
Okay, so it's 4 times 4 times 4, right?
Yeah.
So 2/3 of that would just be 4 times 4.
Yeah, so that's 2/3 of 64 multiplicatively. 64 is 4 times 4 times 4, so what's 2 out of those 3? Yeah. Where'd you learn that from? Who knows? Huh?
I find it funny because I learned the second way first, and then I came up with the first way just by looking at the second way.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Cube root cuts it in thirds, and then square means take 2 of those things. So this is a more kind of visual way to think about it, and this is a more purely computational way to think about it. Are you guys kind of with? Sometimes it kind of sucks when there's more than one way to do a problem. Because as a student, very often, sometimes you're like, just tell me the way, dear God. Because what students do is they'll take a little bit of one way and a little bit the other way, and then everything just goes to shit, right? But you just want to pick a way that makes the most sense to you. Okay. 2b, and I won't make a Shakespeare joke here. 2b. What was 2b? Oh yeah, it's this thing. What's the order of operations again? Where was it? Divided by. Yeah, please excuse my dumbass son. No, dear Aunt Sally. One semester, my students came up with this. Please excuse my deficient algebra skills. So that was them, that wasn't me. So the funny thing is, you guys can tell me, but you kind of fight against it. The first thing a lot of people try to do is either square or multiply by 4. But what's the very first freaking thing in PEMDAS? Parentheses. What's in the parentheses?
-3.
Yeah, 10 minus 13. What's that?
-3.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm squaring yet, so I got to figure out what I'm squaring first. I don't know what I'm multiplying by 4 yet, so I got to figure out what I'm multiplying by 4 first. So again, PEMDAS. Real quick, I've seen teachers who teach multiplication before division. Bullshit. They need to stop teaching. That makes me so sad. I have seen that. It could have very easily have been this. How do you say this? Right? And the officer's like, you're drunk. Let's take you. Right? No. So PEMDAS is obviously easier to say. Neither of these is a good way to write it. Parentheses, exponents. Either of these as it comes, either of these as it comes. And let me really blow your minds. There is no division. Division does not exist. There's multiplying by the reciprocal. There is no subtraction. Subtraction does not exist. There's adding the negative, adding the inverse. Are you guys kind of understanding? That's why they're on the same damn level, because they're the same damn operation. So you do them as they come. So what I'll also get here is a lot of people put 24 there. That is not fair. What is the only number I'm dividing by? If you make this 24, aren't you now dividing by 24? Is that fair? If I had 6 people, I'm like, let's see how much each of us gets, and I multiply by 4, and then now I divide it by 24, you're all going to get screwed, right? I'm not giving you as much as you should have gotten. That's not fair. You guys kind of with me? Mm-hmm. All right, so then I got this, and then I got this, and then I got this. So now I've got 12 minus 4 times 9. And now this whole block is all multiplication division, so you just do it as it comes. I knew from the beginning I was going to do this last. Why? And it's at the ass and the PEMDAS, right? So I do that last. It's just going to come for the ride. 12 minus I don't know yet. 12 minus I don't know yet. 12 is like, come on, what the shit? So what do I get over here? 4 times 9? 36 divided by 6. 6 times 4. Now the 24 comes in there. 12 minus 24? Negative 12. Okay. And of course, if you think about money, if I got $12 and I owe somebody 24, I pay them as much as I can. I'm still $12 in debt, right? Everybody kind of knows money at this stage of the game, and the bank knows negatives all too well, right? Okay. Are you early for the next class? Yeah, you're a little early. Sorry, buddy. Okay. Oh, 2C. That was what somebody said might have been the hardest one. I think we'll finish the class at 2C. What past Jeff did is I have a class at 9:30, which is always exciting. I haven't done that in a while. I normally have a breather, but no, too bad. Anyway, so 2C. Anybody know what the hell to try here?
You have to make, so if there's negative, so it's x to the negative 12 and x to the third, you have to kind of combine those.
Yeah, these two, yes. What does a negative power mean?
1 over...
It means flip. That's all it means. So what's x to the negative 3? 1 over x cubed. What's 1 over x to the negative 5th? X to the 5th. Another way to look at it is, if it's negative, it doesn't like it there. It wants to be on the other side, right? What are the only things in here that are being raised to a negative power? Give me one of them. It's not quite the next class yet.
X, Y, Z?
Yeah, this guy, these two, yes? Mm-hmm. So those 12 x's want to come down. Let me see if I can do it all at one time. How many x's are here already?
30.
12 more coming. How many are there now?
15.
Okay. 3 up here already. Wise. 8 more coming, right? How many total up top? 11. Those 5 come down. Those 4 go up. How many cancel?
4.
How many are left?
1.
Where? Bottom. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, just a minute. We're not quite. This is still the last class. Sorry. They really want in here. What is that next class? It's popular. Is everybody with me so far?
Yeah.
You could do this. When you divide, you subtract powers. Remember that? What's negative 12 minus 3? Negative 15. And then that would flip down and catch up to us. So instead of bringing negatives in the first place, immediately just do it in negative power once done. They're all gone then. And what do you do with 6 and 15? Is it 9? 9? No, it's not 9. Holy shit, what do you do? 6 divided by 15. You can reduce it. What goes into both? 3. 3? Okay. So then my answer will be 2y11 over 5x15z. Crazy sauce. Yes?
I thought that you had to move the 6x12 together down to the bottom.
Oh, no way. What's the understood power on the 6?
Oh, 1.
Positive 1. Doesn't want to go anywhere. It's just the x's that are raised to a negative power. Yes?
So no negative exponents in your final answer?
No. I like it. I think that's enough for the first day. We did a lot. All right. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place.
So you did was just bring the negative 12, just want it to the bottom, and then add a negative 3.
Yeah, exactly. So the step I skipped was bring the 12x's down. There's already 3 there, and then you add the powers. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, say if it was like this was the problem, it was 3 to the 5th power, and then on the bottom 3 to the 4th power, is the equal on the top.
If it was this here. Sorry, it's weird for me to write that.
Okay.
I can't write in the first place, to be honest. But yeah, how many cancel? How many are left? Where? Yep. Because that's where there were more of them.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of cancels. All right.